All right, we're talking standouts from 2023 training camp so far for the New Orleans Saints. Welcome into today's show, Saints fans. I'm your host, Trace Gerard, and we got a quick announcement before we start breaking down the training camp standouts. Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Central Time, we will be live for Saints vs. Chiefs NFL preseason week 1. Be sure to join our watch party. It's going to be a blast. You can subscribe at youtube.com/@SaintsToday. The link is available for you in the comment section and in the description of today's video. So I wanted to give an honorable mention to can't guard Mike number 13 because, oh boy, he is back. That bad man is ready to absolutely tear it up this season. Look at this one-handed catch. Come on, tell your favorite DB to try and defend that. It ain't happening. But I want to get into the standouts so far. So we're going to start off with the first guy, your quarterback, your leader, your knight in shining armor for the Saints offseason, the quarterback, Derek Carr. And I just got to say this, we're celebrating Cardi Gras. That's what we're doing all season long because he has shown some growth in the 2-minute drills and in red zone situations. And that is something that I truly believe will help the New Orleans Saints be much more successful on the offensive side of the ball. As we know, the Saints struggled to finish drives last season, and I think that this shows a lot of good growth for your quarterback. And in case you didn't know, his former head coach, Jon Gruden, he returned to Saints practice earlier this week, to kind of dive into things with Dennis Allen, give him some pointers, work on, the development and understanding of how Derek Carr works. Because if you look at the stats, Derek Carr with Jon Gruden was a much better football player than without Jon Gruden. So when you look at it, you have a 68.7 completion percentage versus 61.2 completion percentage. 17,000 yards versus 18,000 yards. Sure, it's a lot more, but he also had upwards of 500 more attempts without Jon Gruden. 90 touchdowns to 128, 41 interceptions to 58. The yards per game is significantly better at about 30 yards per game higher. So my final take on Derek Carr. I cannot wait to see what number 4 can do in the black and gold. As I said when the Saints signed him, you're upgrading the black and silver to that black and gold. So I expect Derek Carr to upgrade his game as well. And for the Saints to have a successful offense this season, let's get back to the basics and let's score some touchdowns. All right, probably the biggest MVP so far, it's got to be Marshon Lattimore, but I'm going to get into why I think he is a training camp standout in just 1 second. But before we get to that, I got a question around the quarterback. Derek Carr's best season in his career, he had 32 touchdowns back in 2015 with the Oakland Raiders. I'm going to set the over-under at 30 touchdowns with the New Orleans Saints. If you think that he's going to score more than 30, type your O for over. If you think he's going to score less than that, type your U for under. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get hit with the YouTube ad break, take advantage of it. Share your thoughts. All right, so back to Marshon Lattimore. Man, it's so good to see number 23 back and better than ever. He's looking healthy. He's looking good. And at the end of the day, Marshon Lattimore has been your training camp MVP up to this point. I do expect Marshon Lattimore to return to his old form. Last season, he missed a lot of time due to injury. He had that lacerated kidney, kept him out for most of the middle part of the season. But when you saw him return, you saw him got a pick 6 against the NFC champions in the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's just see what happens when he can get on the field for an entire season. Lattimore is your camp MVP. I also wanted to show some love to AK-41 because he's been looking pretty good as well, and he's been doing a lot of work. And I'm going to say this, Pete Carmichael, please, please, please use him as a pass catcher. And I have faith that they will use him as a pass catcher more so because he's been getting work with the wide receivers. He's been improving on that pass catching ability. He still looks explosive. And one of my favorite things about Kamara is he's embracing the leadership role that he has. He's taking Kendre Miller under his wing, showing him the ropes, teaching him how to be a better running back in all aspects of the game. This is why Alvin Kamara is a standout for me. That's why I think that he is a winner for training camp thus far. And guys, like I mentioned off the top of the show, we will be live for preseason week 1, taking on Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs. So be sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications, because we will have fun super chat giveaways. Drinks will be flowing, beads will be flying, and it's going to be a party. Trust me, we put the party and watch party, so be sure to turn on your notifications and join us on Sunday. All right, so next, I want to talk about your 5th-round draft pick in Jordan Howden, because he's actually been pretty impressive, and he's been making some noise at Saints training camp. He's even been getting first-team reps, or he's been getting reps with the first-team safeties alongside Marcus Maye and Tyrann Mathieu. He is definitely at the top of my list for players to watch during the preseason. We even have a photo of Jordan Howden hanging out with Alontae Taylor, hanging out with Tyrann Mathieu, getting in that work. I love to see the veterans on this roster take the young guys under their wings. You even see Marshon Lattimore helping out, get the young safety, the young defensive back, some coaching and some reps. I love to see this out of the Saints defense. And guys, join me in betting on the Saints vs. Chiefs preseason game. I'm a degenerate. I feel like some of y'all are as well. So use chatsports.com/bet to get involved with BetUS. You get an 125% deposit bonus when you use the code CHAT125, meaning you put in $100, BetUS gives you $125 of cheddar to throw down on whatever you want. And as for the odds for preseason week 1, I was pretty shocked when I saw these. This is not a typo. This is 100% real. Your New Orleans Saints are favorites to take down the Kansas City Chiefs by 3-point margin. The over-under is set at 37.5. So join me. Use chatsports.com/bet, promo code CHAT125 to get that 125% deposit bonus. All right, so my next standout is going to be one of my favorite players on this roster, Chris Olave. He is a stud. He is a leader. He is going to be incredible. He's improved his contested catch. He's gotten more consistent, and he's bulked up throughout this offseason. Saints fans, I have one thing for me to tell you. Get pumped, because number 12, he's coming to make some noise in the Big Easy this season. And like I said, the contested catch aspect was something that a lot of us Saints fans wanted to see Olave improve. We even heard number 12 talk about that in some of his press conferences all throughout the offseason. So I love to see that work has been paying off. Like I said, Saints fans, get jacked, get amped. And if you're pumped up just like I am for Chris Olave year 2, hit that thumbs up icon, like today's video. We're all Saints fans. We believe in voodoo. We believe in Gregory's and all that nonsense. If you don't like the video, Olave might have a bad season. Don't be that guy. Hit the thumbs up icon right now. All right, another one to talk about is your cornerback, Alontae Taylor. As we all know, Alontae, he's been getting some work in the outside. He is in a CB2 battle with Paulson Adebo. However, we've seen him grow in the slot. We've also seen some of that growth in the outside corner spot. I truly do believe Dennis Allen, maybe not the best head coach in the whole wide world, but he's a defensive genius, and I think that he should have a lot of fun alongside Joe Woods with Alontae Taylor and Paulson Adebo, getting to kind of rotate them around, switch them around. I can't wait to see number 1 rock it out this season. And by the way, number 1, such a fresh number for a cornerback. I just got to say that. All right, this one's going to be surprising, and I know some of y'all are going to be like, Trace, what in the hell? Why is Tre'Quan Smith on my screen? Well, let me tell you, because Tre'Quan Smith is still your wide receiver 4. No wide receiver has stood out amongst the rest of the Saints at that wide receiver 4 position. Obviously, your 1, 2, and 3 is going to be Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed. However, you have guys like Bryan Edwards, A.T. Perry, James Washington as well on the roster. So I expect the wide receiver 4 battle to be finally decided throughout the preseason, not just in training camp. But guys, I want to ask you this question. What say you, Saints fans? Will Tre'Quan Smith make the roster? Give me a Y for yes. Give me an N for no. Let me know down in the comment section right now. All right, last player I want to discuss, Carl Granderson. And man, I was very excited to see the Saints select Isaiah Foskey in the second round. However, I think that Carl Granderson might actually be beating him out for that starting role. He has improved in his run-stopping ability. He's been cutting some weight, slimming down. My big question is, who's going to start opposite of Cameron Jordan? You have a lot of talent in Peyton Turner. He has a lot of potential talent, but he hasn't quite panned out the way you want him to as a first-round pick out of Houston. What I will say, though, is Carl Granderson, you're making some noise, and you could find yourself as a starter this season in NFL Week 1. I'm going to be watching out for Carl Granderson as well during the NFL preseason, all throughout these first few weeks of the Saints preseason. But guys, I hope you enjoyed today's content. If you enjoyed the show, give me a follow on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I made the link easy for you. It's at TraceGerard48. Give me a follow on social media. I love chopping it up with the Saints fans. Give me a follow. I'll give you a shout out on the watch party. As always, Saints fans, y'all stay golden. We'll catch you next time.